Ladies and gents, we have not done one of these in a while, but we're doing a would you rather video. That's where we put two vehicles up against each other and we ask you in the comments to let us know which one you would rather and why. Today we have a great episode because we have a very new and very special vehicle here, the all new 2024 Chevrolet Blazer EV with the RS trim, and we're going to put it up against this here, which is a 2024 Blazer RS with your normal internal combustion engine. We're going to call it the ICE vehicle, the ICE. Now these two vehicles are very different and very similar at the same time. So let's talk about the similarities first. They're both all-wheel drive vehicles. They're both 5-passenger vehicles. Again, they're both the RS trim level, so you're going to see similarities as far as how they're styled and how they're equipped. They both have really nice 21-inch wheels. You can see on the EV here, it's like an aerodynamic style wheel. Here you have a nice black wheel with a machine silver pattern there. Again, both 21-inch wheels. So again, things are very similar as far as styling and size. If you look at the size comparison, you know, the Blazer EV is a little lower, has a lower roof line than the standard internal combustion engine vehicle. If we look from the side, I have these pretty much nose to nose. Go to the back and see that they're pretty much very similar in length. If we go to our cargo area here, we're going to open up. We have a power lift gate here on the ICE vehicle, as well as one which actually just sensed. This has auto sensing, so when you have the key fob within about 3 feet for 3 seconds, this door will open up without you having to push the button or pulling the handle on the door like I just did on the gas vehicle here. If you look inside, you'll notice you got your cargo space underneath. In the gas vehicle, you do have a spare tire with some extra little storage in there. If we go over to the electric vehicle, little less storage. It's not as deep, just based on my eye. I'd have to get the actual measurements. Underneath, you do have some extra storage underneath, no spare tire, and your charge cord and all that sort of stuff for your house is here inside that bag. In the back of the gas Blazer, we do have handles we can pull to drop our seats, to fold them flat. You do not have those in the EV, so we're going to have to open up the back door. And once we do, we're just going to use the handle on the seat here that we can drop it down. Same thing on the other side, and that'll give you that expansive cargo area in case you need to move cargo instead of passengers. Really loving the adrenaline red interior. In the back here on the EV, it's like a suede material with their Evo Tex. It's like, feels like leather. It's obviously probably some sort of an imitation leather. Second row seats are heated. We have some USB-Cs and we have air vents. If we go over to the gas vehicle, you'll see as I lift these back up, we have a leather interior. You don't have any kind of a suede material, but you do have perforations with some red accents. You know, not full red interior, just the accents. There is USB ports. You have an outlet here, and although you do not see heated seat buttons here, they are on the door panel. So in this RS trim, you do have second row heated seats as well. Looking at the back of the gas Blazer here, obviously you're going to see some exhaust tips. You do have dual exhaust. You have some black emblems like for Blazer all-wheel drive. You have the red RS symbol. You know, if we step over to the EV, very similar. Black bow tie, black badges, red RS. No dual exhaust, obviously, because there is no exhaust. And again, very similar as far as styling. Some cool taillight patterns on the EV. When you're charging, you have some sequences like you just saw there for a split second where the light kind of jumps around and gives you a little bit of a display, which is pretty nice. As we walk back over to the gas vehicle here, the gas Blazer, you'll see you have your capless fuel system on the driver's side of the vehicle. I'm gonna open up the driver's door here. We're gonna pop the hood. Underneath, pull. Basically from your Chevy bow tie, go straight in, you'll feel the latch, and you can lift it up. And there is your 3.6 liter V6 engine. Very good engine. It's been around for a long time. It's been very reliable. We love it, and you know, it's something that is tried and true. It's something that people know. Go to the gas station, you fill her up, and you're on your way. That's one of the main differences, obviously, with the EV. Let's pop the hood and see what we got. Same thing, open the door. This is a little different. You're gonna pull twice, 1, 2. Once you do that, you can just open this hood up. There is no latch, so we just lift from anywhere, and there you go. This is what you get, a bunch of plastic. There is no front storage in this vehicle, so you know, basically the only thing you're going to need this for is washer fluid, which is under that panel. Here you got a little fire hat, which means if the vehicle ever had any kind of an incident, fire department would probably cut some cables that are under that, and you have your brake fluid. Other than that, you know, there's really no reason to ever really look under here. Again, the only thing you're really going to do is washer fluid. Since the Blazer EV is all electric, one of the things obviously is range and charging. This vehicle with the battery that's equipped with the all-wheel drive that this has gets an estimated 279 miles of range on a single charge. And on a DC 190 kilowatt fast charger, you can get about 70 miles of range in a 10-minute charge. So definitely a lot faster than our previous electric car, the Chevrolet Bolt. Really, you know, 3 times as fast is how much you can charge this vehicle on that DC fast charger. I know, gas vehicle, V6, go to the gas station, fill up, takes you 5 minutes, you're on the road. On the EV here, your charge port door is located on the driver's side. There's 2 little markings on the car. It's gonna give that a press slightly harder, and basically that will open that door down. It is power. You have your plug here for your level 1, level 2, pull out the little socket for your DC fast charge, and then to close, you're just gonna press that same button and that's gonna lift up. In my opinion, that's gonna be a flaw on this vehicle, but we'll talk about that in a future video. As we compare the front end of the vehicle, you know, you have LED headlights and LED lighting on both. You know, on the gas vehicle, you have your typical open grille for airflow. You have some black chrome trim, you know, the black bow tie there. And again, your LED lights, headlights being the lower portion, daytime runners and turn signals up on top. What's really cool about the EV is you get this full LED light bar. So I'm gonna unlock, you'll see you have your amber turn signals. You have a little pattern there with your lighting that will light up at night, including the full bow tie, and your headlights are just underneath. Really cool, you know, really cool design elements there that we like. And since it is starting to rain outside here, we're gonna hop inside the gas Blazer first and take a look at the interior. Probably important to note, our vehicles do come with remote start here on the key fob, which is a great feature to have. And on this 2024 gas Blazer, you do have included the remote access plan where you can use the mobile app on your cell phone to unlock, lock the car, start the vehicle, locate it on the map, you know, perform all different functions. Once you hop in with your key, you do have a push button start, so you're gonna press that. Below that is the button a lot of people look for, which is auto start stop. That's gonna deactivate that system in the vehicle that will turn the engine off at red lights and in traffic situations when you're stopped, things like that. Interior, it's an RS, it's all black interior. You have red accents on your bezels of your climate control. You have red stitching, which is real nice. You have a nice new bigger screen in the 2024 model here compared to the 23. You know, it's all touchscreen, it's super easy to use, and very, very, very important feature in my opinion, which we are not going to find in the Blazer EV, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The Blazer EV is the first vehicle that does not have those features. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Other than that, when you look inside, you got a nice digital speedometer here. You do have your driver information center controls on the side, which is going to go to fuel ranges and trip odometers and tire pressures and all that. So it's pretty standard. You know, standard controls for windows and mirrors and locks. You do have memory seat. Seats are heated and ventilated in this vehicle. You got a heated wheel here. You know, so just a really nice, what we're used to as far as a vehicle, with some nice styling, all the normal buttons and controls that we've had in vehicles in the past. You have things like a wireless charging pad here, some nice storage inside your armrest, typical glove box. You know, just a really nice vehicle. I do like that we have buttons. You know, we have buttons for climate control, for heated seats, things like that. You do have things on the screen, like you can bring up your climate and have redundant controls for some of those features. I'm gonna go back to the home screen here. I also wanna bring up the camera. You do have surround vision in this model. You have your front and back cameras. It's all high definition, multiple angles, multiple guidelines, you know, all sorts of cool stuff, which is very nice. And you'll also notice, which I'm gonna point out, we still have a headlight control in this vehicle, because on the Blazer EV, it went to software on the screen, which we're going to touch on that in a second. But I think we could all agree that this is a nice layout. It's a nice looking interior, pretty sporty looking, easy to use, and you know, something that I think most people could agree is very nice. Back out in the rain, we're going to hop in the Blazer EV next. Really cool feature with the Blazer EV is that when you hop in, all you have to do is put your foot on the brake, and as long as you have the key in the vehicle will start. So there is no need to have a push button on or off, although they do have a button here which you can turn the vehicle back off if you'd like to. Just gonna put my phone on the wireless charging pad, which is here. Storage inside, just like the last Blazer, you have good room there. You know, you have a standard glove box, which I didn't open in the last vehicle, but it's pretty much the same. Here, obviously the big thing is screens. It's awesome. It looks really good. The buttons and icons are very big. It fits well. It's low. So like I'm sitting, this is like my eye level right here. So for me, I have great visibility out the window, and then I have this great expansive screen underneath. Let's start here with the driver information center and the speedometer here. You'll notice, because this is an electric vehicle, we have our electric meter on the left-hand side here. It's currently showing 267 miles of range. You also have your power, so this is going to go up and be orange when you're using power. This is going to go down and be green when you're regenerating power, and you can regenerate power by either one pedal driving or the regen on demand paddle, which is right here. This is how you use the electric motor to slow the vehicle. And one thing I would say personally, because I do drive an electric car every day, the Chevy Bolt, driving this, which I didn't really get to drive this because it's already sold, but driving an electric vehicle like I've been doing for the last number of years versus driving a gas vehicle, the electric vehicle is a much more pleasurable experience. You know, I like the fact that it's quieter. I like the fact that it's nearly instant torque. I like the fact that you have regen capabilities, so you're saving your brakes, which is lower maintenance. You're using one pedal to drive the vehicle, you know, so it's really a great powertrain. And I think a lot of people are going to like that as they get into it. If we look on the left side here, you know, just like in the last Blazer, windows, locks, memory seats, all pretty much the same. Heated steering wheel, ventilated and heated seats in the front. Climate controls, we have some buttons here, but then other things are on the screen. However, it's always there, so it's nice and easy to access. If you want to turn up your fan speed, you can do it there. If for some reason the screen was off, like we can power the screen off, we can still see climate controls, and we can still use the hard keys here at the bottom. I mentioned the headlights earlier. In the other vehicle, we had a headlight control there. Here we don't have that. We have one on the screen. It's built into the software, and it's on auto. And I think that's the main thing. Cars today, the headlights are on auto. So how often do you ever really touch your headlight knob? Never. So by putting it in the software, I'm assuming it saves them a ton of money because they don't have to develop, create, produce, build, you know, the actual headlight button itself. But I do like that they still have hard keys for a lot of different functions that you use more often. Now with the screen here, there is a whole bunch of different functions, which I'll get to in a future video where I kind of look a little bit more in depth, but you can see you can bring Google Maps right up on your instrument cluster here rather than on the screen on the right-hand side. There's some different functions there. You can see my phone is on the right-hand side, paired for Bluetooth. That's running Pandora. That's a little bit more of like a simpler, you know, screen. You know, so everything you need is there right in front of you. And then in this one, I'm back. Little small interruption there, which was probably good because I think I was getting a little too long in this particular video. This video is merely just to kind of show the basics and the two differences between the two vehicles, and then you decide which one you want. Obviously, the major difference, electric versus gas. That's going to be the main, I think, driver in the comment section. Another thing we did mention in the last vehicle, in the gas one, you did have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You do not have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto in the Blazer EV. So you have Google built in, which means you'll be able to use the Play Store and things like that. You'll most likely have to shop and buy some sort of a plan in order to use that. So your normal Bluetooth controls for phone and audio do function like they normally would. You just don't have the ability to have Waze, Google Maps, all that from your Apple or your Android phone on screen. You have to do it through Google in the system, linking up most likely to the OnStar Wi-Fi. You have a wireless charging pad, you got your cup holders, you got some storage underneath here, which is nice. You know, again, real nice layout. Very nicely done, comfortable seat in both vehicles. I think the other main thing that would be a driver, maybe for your particular decision, is the price of the vehicle. So let's talk about that. Okay, so let's talk pricing. The MSRP of the Chevrolet Blazer 2024 RS, the one you see right in front of you here, the internal combustion engine vehicle, is $52,115. That's MSRP. That's what we'd be selling the vehicle for. This 2024 Blazer EV RS, the way this one sits and equipped, has an MSRP of $60,215. So it's about $8,000 more. Now, before you make your decision based on that alone, let's look at the out-the-door number, because the real thing is how much these vehicles truly cost to purchase. Now, this is based on the state of New Jersey, where I am, because there's a very important factor involved in this. So let's look at the Blazer gas first, the ICE vehicle. You take that $52,115 MSRP. We're going to add our documentation fee on there, which is $389. In the state of New Jersey, we have a tire fee. It's $1.50 for each tire on the vehicle, including the spare. So it's $7.50, and a 4-year registration on this weight class is estimated at about $401. So if we add all that up, we're at $52,912.50. Now, that important factor I was just talking about is sales tax. Now, in New Jersey, our sales tax rate is 6.625%, which on this gasoline Blazer would be $3,478.39, bringing your grand total to $56,390.89. That is your out the door number if you purchased a vehicle in New Jersey with standard motor vehicle doc fee, that sort of stuff, at MSRP. Now let's take a look at the Blazer EV. We're going to take that MSRP, that's $60,215. We're going to add the $389, which is our documentation fee. We're going to add New Jersey's tire fee, which is only $6 because there is no spare. We're going to add that same motor vehicle fee of estimate of $401. That brings us to $61,011. Now, very, very big in New Jersey, there is no sales tax on electric vehicles. That's right, no sales tax. So you're saving like $3,500 to $4,000 on this particular vehicle because you're not paying tax. Now, we do have an incentive in New Jersey if you buy an electric vehicle for $4,000 off. However, this vehicle is over the max MSRP cap of $55,000, so you do not qualify for the $4,000, but you would qualify for the federal incentive up to $7,500 on this particular vehicle. Now, that $7,500 has some personal requirements there. There's some income limits, there's some things like that, so you have to talk to your accountant. But if you did in fact qualify for that full $7,500, that's going to bring the sale price of this vehicle out the door down to $53,511 if you qualified for that full $7,500, which makes the Blazer EV about $2,800, a little more than $2,800 less than the gasoline version. So now my question to you is, which would you rather? With everything you've heard, with everything we discussed today, are you going with the gasoline engine Blazer, or are you going with the Blazer EV, and why? And don't be that guy that says, oh no, there's a bunch of junk, I'm gonna buy a Toyota.